Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a brand new pick a card reading for you guys today, and today we are asking the question about what good news is on its way to you. So this is definitely an overall very positively intended reading. As I was thinking about my next pick a card reading to do, the previous two I've done was a 4th of July pick a card and a Christmas in July pick a card. And I was like, what should I do next? You know, like the holiday theme kind of stuff is like out of the way and done now. So what do people really need to hear? What do people really need insight and perspective on? And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? The world is so messed up right now in so many ways. There are so many people out there who are struggling, who are depressed, who are stressed out, who are facing all kinds of astronomical obstacles. And I was like, I don't want to put any more like stress or heaviness or pressure on anyone when they come to my readings. When people are here, I want them to feel uplifted, hopeful, inspired. You know, I hope people walk away from my readings, if anything, feeling a little bit more like, hey, life can still be awesome. Like something good can still happen to me. So that's kind of where the intention with this reading came from. So I really wanted to tap into what positive, happy, joyful, good things could be on the way for you guys. So I'm really excited to find out with you, obviously. I have 4 different piles lined up here. And before I jump into the piles and introduce each pile to you so you can decide which one you would like to pick for yourself, I just wanted to remind you guys to give this video a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below, because that definitely helps me out a lot just in terms of getting out there in the YouTube algorithm and getting this video seen. And even if you just hit that share button, you don't even have to share it anywhere, just hit it. It still makes a difference. Welcome back to all of my subscribers who are currently with me. You guys are awesome and I appreciate you so much. And if you're new here, of course, welcome. And I invite you to subscribe and join the Shadow and Shine family. And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, because that way then you will be up to date on every single upload, every update that comes on through. You will definitely not be the last in the know, because you will be the first in the know. And if I resonate with you guys as a reader, I invite you to check out my website, shadowandshine.com. There is a variety, a whole bunch of different types of readings that are available there. And I would love to assist you guys on your journey in like more of a personal one-on-one setting. So if that's something that you're interested in, head on over to my website, check out the shopping area or the readings area, and you will find everything that you need to know right over there. So let's get into these piles and see exactly what our options are. Pick the one that obviously resonates with you, that kind of calls out to you the most. And pile number 1, we have a beautiful, stunning piece of citrine. Citrine is a crystal that definitely helps us kind of like tap into our joy. It's just like the happy crystal is what it comes down to. It really helps the solar plexus. So if maybe you're seeking a little bit more joy, which was obviously one of the intentions here in this pick a card reading, then this may be the crystal for you. So pile number 1, citrine. All right, pile number 2, we have some titanium aura quartz in the shape of this beautiful heart. I mean, just look at that thing glisten and sparkle. It is just, it's so pretty. So if you're kind of like an aura quartz kind of person, or you love rainbows, hearts, any of those kinds of things, this crystal may have your name written all over it. Pile number 3, we have some smoky amethyst. So it's like a combination of smoky quartz. Like the smoky quartz is like more down here in this part of the crystal, and then the amethyst part is like up here. So it's a little rough, it's a little pointy, but that's okay. Amethyst is, super intuitive, and, so is smoky quartz for that matter. So this will help you definitely tap into your intuition. And finally, last but not least, pile number 4, we have some clear quartz. And this is like a very chunky clear quartz that's kind of in the shape of like a twin, because we've got 2 here. We have 1 here and we have 1 here, and they're basically kind of like fused together here. So we have this lovely clear quartz twin, very chunky twin. So there we go. So these are your options for pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pick the one that obviously stands out to you, that kind of calls your name. And you can pick as many as you want. You can pick 1, you can pick 2, 3. You could pick all 4 piles if you feel called to, if you want. There is no right or wrong way to do this. So we're going to jump into it right now and start here with pile number 1, our citrine group. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this sunshiny, fun, happy crystal, basically, of citrine, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what good news is on its way to you, what is going to find you. So exciting, you guys. I'm so excited for you to know what's going on. All right. So there's our citrine buddy. And we have several different decks going on here. So this card, which is just one single card, and this card, which is just one single card. I'm going to save these 2 till the end. So we're going to put these 2 to the side and look at them at the end. But we're going to dive into all these guys first. So I'm going to go ahead and put down all of the cards. We'll see what they are, and then we'll kind of connect the dots and see exactly how they correlate, how they come together and make sense for you and your situation. So we have skull endings, bees community, come on, stay cards. Water, surrender. Peace, harmony. New moon in Scorpio, go deeper. Full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. First quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. Last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. Face your shadow. Choose friends wisely. Reevaluate your priorities. And rejuvenate. All right, so we have a lot of stuff going on here, obviously. So I'm going to start off here actually with the first card that came out being the skull with endings. So I feel like this card represents either the past or where you may currently be right now in this present moment. So maybe one of the reasons you were drawn to this reading is because you are struggling right now and you are looking for something good. You are looking for brighter days being ahead. And I feel like if that describes you, it's probably because you're currently facing a lot of endings happening in your life, a lot of different chapters. And that can be hard sometimes, whether it's a relationship ending or a job that ended, or maybe you moved and you left one place for another, which would be a chapter closing as well. So endings can look like a lot of different things, obviously. And even if it's a good ending, a healthy ending, even if it's something that's right and something that needed to happen, that doesn't automatically mean that we're accustomed to it and that, we're all gung-ho for it or whatever. It still can take time. It can still take an adjustment, even if it's right and even if we know deep down it feels good. But I feel like what the ending is being here ultimately, in order for the good things to come along, in order for that new season of abundance and blessings and favor, in order for that to come along and happen for you, you got to let go of whatever is in the past there, whatever has been holding you back, whatever those endings are, because it's going to be really hard to step into a new chapter when you're still kind of like living in the past. And this may not even necessarily have to be something that's as physical and tangible as like a job or a relationship. It could be like setting your ego aside. It could be setting your pride aside. It could be setting negative, unhealthy mindsets aside. Those could be the things that could be ending in order to make room for healthier mindsets, positive mindsets. So keep that in mind. And I do feel like the mindsets is definitely a part of that, because we do have face your shadow here. And when we face our shadow, we're facing that darker part of ourselves. We're facing that part that, thinks those negative thoughts, who beats ourselves up and says, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not whatever enough it is we're inserting, or whatever horrible thing we're saying about ourselves. That's something that could definitely use an ending or two to have. So I do feel like some of this may be just related to your own mental habits, getting rid of those negative strongholds in your mind is what it comes down to. So I do feel like that is part of it. The other part of it that I feel like it's connected to is your friend group, because we have bees, community, and we have choose friends wisely. So I feel like these two kind of go hand in hand. So I feel like if anything, you may be at kind of a turning point and at a shift within your friend group, that you may be kind of detoxing and releasing yourself from toxic, unhealthy friendships that you've had. I feel like anyone who comes to my videos and checks out my readings, they're probably someone who is soft-hearted, who's big-hearted, who is pretty empathetic, who cares and loves up on people. And that's a beautiful and wonderful thing. That's an amazing quality to have. And there are not enough people in the world that are like that. But sometimes the issue is when we have that big heart, people will take advantage of that. People will sometimes, see that coming and they'll just run with it, and they won't give back, that they won't give that same amount of love and kindness and encouragement and support in return. So that may have been the situation that you were in. And by all means, when you give and you give and you give to people, you deserve the same respect back. And by all means, you have to give that to yourself first and foremost, is what it comes down to. So it's okay to put up those boundaries. It's okay to say no sometimes and to not have to give an explanation behind it. And the people who are your true blue real friends, they're going to accept that. They're going to understand. They're going to stand by your side. So I feel like you're definitely kind of in a process of restructuring your friend group right now. But it's a good thing, is what it comes down to, because you're not going to have the unhealthy ones who are kind of like the emotional vampires just sucking on your energy anymore. Instead, you're making room for people who not only will you uplift and inspire, but they're going to uplift and inspire you in return. That you guys are going to walk hand in hand together. That it's going to be, an equal amount of work. That you guys are going to laugh together and cry together and have fun adventures together. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So definitely healthy friendships are a part of this. Trading out the crappy ones for solid, healthy ones. Now with the surrender and water coming through here, this is a part of the process. This goes back to kind of those endings is what it comes down to. Because like I said, even if it's an ending that we know is coming, even if it's an ending that we know is good for us and healthy for us, that doesn't automatically mean we're going to be jumping right in and being like, yeah, I'm ready to do that. Because, especially if it is, like, let's say it is a friend, for example, that you have to let go of. That doesn't mean that we stop caring about that person. That doesn't mean that we don't love that person anymore. That doesn't mean that we stop seeing all the positive things that that person had to offer, because there was a reason why you were friends with that person in the first place. Because yes, people can be selfish and they can be cruel, but there's obviously also good qualities to people too, or you wouldn't get involved in them in the first place. So it can be hard. It can be hard to release that, especially if you're heading into the unknown and you don't know what the unknown is going to have. That's why sometimes people stay in bad situations rather than take a risk and step out, because a lot of people would rather stick with the devil that they know than discover the devil that they don't. But the devil that they don't may not even necessarily be a devil at all. So definitely there's some surrender going on here, which is not easy. But on the other side of that, there's peace, there's harmony. Like once you have finally hit that sweet spot within surrender, that's when that peace comes. And when you've hit that sweet spot, chef's kiss. It's gonna be all good. It's gonna be all good. Let's see. Let me get into some of these astrological cards here. I haven't even hit upon any of these guys yet. Okay, so talk less, feel more. So with this card coming through, I feel like, you could be someone who is like a total chatterbox and maybe, it just, talk. But I feel like this doesn't just have to be about only talking. I feel like if anything, we could kind of replace talk less with distraction, because there are a lot of ways you can distract yourself from feeling. One way is, yes, talking, but you can distract yourself from feeling through eating or drinking or having sex or shopping or, playing video games. There are so many different ways to like distract yourself from not feeling. And a lot of the times people don't even realize that they're doing that. And I'm not saying that you guys are, doing this on purpose or it's become like some crazy habitual thing. I just feel like this is something to be aware of, that if you find yourself kind of getting caught up in this place where you're just like, I just need to distract myself. I just need to distract myself from, not feeling these emotions. That should be an alert to you to feel those emotions. Even the icky and disgusting and horrible ones that you may be feeling right here, right now. Like, give yourself permission to feel that. It's okay. That doesn't mean you have to live there and you have to stay there. And by all means, you shouldn't. But the only way you're really going to get past that emotion is to like actually feel it to its depths of what it is, even if it's uncomfortable. And then after you do, you can release it. You can release it. You can surrender it and move on. With go deeper, once again, I'm getting a lot of like water vibes here. I know we got Scorpio here, we got Pisces here. So we got two water sign cards, and then we have this water card here. So, maybe you are a water sign or you have a lot of water in your birth chart, but, I do feel like Spirit is asking you to go deeper right now, indefinitely, which is a beautiful thing. It can be a scary thing, but it can be a beautiful thing. And, you know, like going to the depths, like now all of a sudden I'm thinking of Ocean Gate and that stupid submarine or the submersible. It wasn't even a submarine, it was a submersible. But you know, that's really terrifying, like going to those depths of the ocean, you know, to see the Titanic and all that kind of stuff. It's totally dark. There's tons of pressure surrounding that thing and everything. And you guys are not going to perish. You guys are not going to die. You're not in a submersible. You're not in Ocean Gate, nothing like that. However, I feel like what this does say is that you guys can go to those depths and you guys can experience that level of darkness that you would experience at the bottom of the ocean, that you guys can experience, like metaphorically, that kind of pressure coming in on you. And you guys are so strong and you guys can definitely handle it. And you guys have been handling it. That you guys can navigate those waters is what it comes down to. You know, it's like you guys got spiritual gills is what it comes down to. Now I don't feel like everybody has that ability. That's for sure. Now with these two, these are awesome. So full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. You know, part of this is not just about surrendering. It's not just about, you know, sitting and meditating and feeling emotions. That's all a part of it, yes. But then there comes a point in time where it's time to get up off your ass and it's time to do something, you know? Like, you can complain and you can remain. And as I say that, one of my crystals toppled over, so obviously that was an important point to be made. But yeah, you can complain and you can remain right in the same position that you are in, or you can get up and you can do something about it. And a lot of the times, you know, people complain and they say like, oh, I have no money. Oh, I have no friends. Oh, I have no this. Oh, I have no that. And those things may be true. But what can you do in your power to change that? What action can you take? If you have no friends, what can you do to go out there and meet new people and socialize? If you have no money, what can you do to get creative and get out there and make some money? Even if it's not like getting a regular job, you know, we're living in the world of solo entrepreneurship nowadays, where everybody can, you know, make money. You know, anyone can set up a YouTube channel like this or a TikTok or whatever. There's so many ways to get out there and make money. Just tap into your talents, tap into things you're passionate about, and monetize it. Anyone can do it. So take inspired action and step into your power. The only way that you can take that inspired action is to step into your own power, and you have it. You don't realize how powerful you are. You know, half the reason why you've probably had a lot of the battles and a lot of the struggles that you've had is because you are way stronger than you realize. Kind of like what I was saying just a few moments ago with, you know, the depths of the ocean and feeling the pressure and being in the darkness. You know, powerful people can handle that kind of stress and pressure. Not, you know, people who can barely handle anything. So, you know, give yourself more credit. Give yourself more credit. I don't feel like you guys give yourself enough credit at all. But you are powerful. You are strong. You are radiant. You are beautiful. So please, please, please do not forget that. And then anytime that you guys are feeling low with your battery, whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically, rejuvenate yourself. Take good care of yourself. That's why Rejuvenate is here. You gotta take good care of yourself. So if you're tired, take a nap. If you're hungry, eat a snack. If you're thirsty, drink a drink, you know? If you're mentally drained, you know, go take a walk outside, you know, get in touch with nature. Maybe turn on a comfort movie or comfort TV show to help yourself feel better. Have a good conversation with a friend. There are so many ways to rejuvenate ourselves. If you have a pet, snuggle up with your pet. I have two chihuahuas, and believe me, like, they help rejuvenate me like crazy. I would not be able to do half of what I do without the presence of those two. So there are so many ways that you can rejuvenate yourself. So take good care of yourself. That's super important. The universe wants you to do that. And we also have reevaluate your priorities here. So I feel like you're definitely being called to have this opportunity to basically reevaluate your priorities. You know, when we're going through a season of endings, that is kind of a good time to re-examine things, because we're seeing really what works and what doesn't work in our life. And, you know, especially if it is with like those friends or whatever, you're reevaluating those friendships. You know, you're reevaluating your priorities with those people. It's like, you know, maybe once upon a time that aligned and that made sense probably for the season that you were in. But maybe in the current season and in the season you're headed to in the future, it just may be out of alignment. It may be time to kind of, you know, swap it up and upgrade. You know, it's like the old friends and the old way of doing things is like, it's like dealing with an iPhone 4 or something. You know, we're at the iPhone 14 heading to the 15 now. So it's like, it's time for an upgrade. It's time for an upgrade. So that's kind of where this reevaluate your priorities comes in. So yeah, I feel like the major themes here, you guys, are endings are happening, but it's because better and new beginnings are on the way. And I definitely feel like number 2, this is tied to your friend group. There's something going on dealing with the friends that are around you. There's a change up coming here where, you know, the old, the crappy, the toxic, the negative friends are leaving, but they are making space and clearing the path for really awesome and super cool people to be in your life who are going to like be your biggest cheerleaders, is what it comes down to. So we do have 2 more cards to get into, and I saved these 2 for last because I have both of the books, the oracle books for each of them. I wanted to read like the definition of what each one says. So the first card here is from the Pegasus Oracle, and you guys have the winged Pegasus of air. Ooh, that's very cool. So let me open up the book here, and we will find out exactly what the winged Pegasus of air is all about, because, I mean, that could be a lot of things. That's why I wanted to just, like, read the definition to you guys. Number 16. And, yeah, that's number 16. So if the number 16 has any significance to you, that could be a little hint. So here's what it says for the winged Pegasus of air. Pegasus, winged guardian and spiritual master of the element of air, brings sacred signals that you are entering a fresh phase of freedom, opportunity, unimpeded progress, and expansion. Ooh, we love that. That is definitely good things to come, you guys. After a period of emotional upheaval or physical stagnancy, here is the power to unlearn patterns and integrate one's experiences to evolve and create in new and beneficial ways. The gift of this blessing includes awakening to clear perspectives, expansion into greater realms of endeavor and success, and the ability to commit to tasks and honor your soul. Significant movement can be attained now if you are willing to try. You might have felt blocked by obstacles, but you were actually in a spiritual holding pattern meant to keep you safe until you were strong enough to move forward while maintaining your center. That time has come. Test your wings. Trust that you have the inner resourcefulness to intuitively ability to use your subtle truths to find your way to freedom. Your intuition can be enhanced as you detach emotionally and allow your perception to become increasingly astute. You will understand any issues that you are facing and any issues that are troubling you from a higher perspective. Feel renewed enthusiasm and trust that a loving pathway into freedom is destined for you. An influential and liberating cycle is at hand. That is such good news, you guys. Like, I hope you're embracing all that. And then there's a little saying after that, which is basically like a little affirmation here. So I'm going to read this affirmation, and you guys, all you have to do is accept this affirmation and claim it for you. Beloved Pegasus, I call upon enlightened wisdom to manifest the blessings of the air element so that I may experience healing change, uplifting energy, freedom from restraint, and rapid progress for the ultimate spiritual benefit of all beings. Ooh, I got chills, you guys. That is a really, really good message. And this totally lands up with the intention that I had set here with this reading. Okay, so the second card that I pulled that was just like an individual card is actually from the Britney Spears Oracle. So we have a Britney here for you guys, okay? And you guys got the Strong Woman, which I feel like totally makes sense with the vibe of what this reading has been in the first place. So same thing, I'm going to read in the Britney Spears Oracle what the definition for the strong woman is, and we'll wrap things up here. All right, so the strong woman, where are you? All right, the strong woman, here we go. My loneliness ain't killing me no more, Britney sings in Stronger, referencing the line in Baby One More Time. The strong woman has learned important lessons that drive her on her quest for knowledge and confidence. Stronger and the woman at the center of this song is all about standing up for yourself and clearing a path towards your goals, no matter what. Channel the strong woman when things feel uncertain or overwhelming. Now, it's nothing but your way. Also, super good message, and I feel like that totally lines up with everything here. You guys are clearing a path. You guys are making a way for new beginnings. I am so excited for you, and I really hope that, when these changes start happening and manifesting, please come back to my channel and comment on this video and let me know about it, because I want to celebrate this stuff with you guys. So anyways, that's what I have here for you. If the message didn't flow, just let it go. But if it did resonate, now you know. And before you guys head on out of here, once again, I just ask you to give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot. Shoot me a comment down below. Like I said, I want to know what these good things are that are going to happen to you. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, you guys, I invite you to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because then you will know every time a brand new upload goes up. And of course, I appreciate everyone who is a returning subscriber. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate you so incredibly much. Once again, you guys, if you are interested in your own personal private reading, I invite you to go and check out my website, shadowandshine.com, and you can find your very own reading right there. I would love to help you guys on more of a one-on-one personal level when it comes to your journey, so that's the place to be. That's the place to go if you are interested in those kinds of services. So check out a personal reading over there. And that's about it, you guys. So I hope you guys are doing amazing and awesome and wonderful. And I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose the Rainbow Titanium Aura Quartz Heart-Shaped Crystal, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out exactly what is going to be in store for you in terms of good news. what is good news that is coming your way? And I'm so excited to dive into this, you guys. Pile 1 was so exciting. It was so thrilling. I can't wait to see what's coming through for you. Okay. So I have a lot of different decks here that I've kind of pulled stuff from because I want to get as much 411 as possible. So I'm actually going to leave the bottom card and the top card until last because it's just a single one for each one of these, and I will get into why at the very end. So those two we're going to set aside until later. But we're going to go ahead and put the rest of these guys out, and we're going to look at what the messages are, and then we're going to put all the messages together and see exactly how they connect, how they correlate to one another, and what it means for you in your situation. So let's see what we have here. We have the feather messages, palm, destiny, power lines, energy, dice, chance, new moon in Cancer, relax, full moon in Libra, find a balance, first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. Last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. Refine your attention. Scooch these guys over a little bit. Live life to the fullest. Address your addictions. And imagine solutions. All right, so before I dive into it, I'm just going to say right off the bat, the very first thing that I was kind of getting, what was coming through as the cards were coming down, I really feel that you guys are my psychic group, that you guys are my intuitive group. Yeah, so I feel like you guys are like my old souls, my empaths. Honestly, like I feel like you guys could probably sit here and do exactly the same thing I'm doing if you're not doing it already. That there's quite a bit of a reader inside of you as well. So yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to say right off the bat. And let me dive into why. Let me get into where that's kind of coming from, that energy. So first of all, with the feather coming through, you know, the feather being messages, a lot of the times when people see feathers, they take that as, you know, like some kind of confirmation, some kind of synchronicity. Sometimes people take it as like your ancestors trying to get a message through to you. But that's the whole point. It kind of represents messages, whether it's from an ancestor or the universe or whatever it is. So I feel like you guys are definitely ones who get a lot of these. And it doesn't just have to be feathers. It could be any kind of message. It could just be like downloads, period. It could be the actual feathers, but it could be, you know, looking at the clock and seeing the 11:11, or there's a certain music, a certain song that comes on the radio or whatever, and it reminds you of, you know, so-and-so person or such and such experience or whatever it may be. But I feel like you guys are constantly getting those messages and downloads, even if you're not asking for it. You know, sometimes it may feel even overwhelming and you're just like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. I just want to be a normal person. Most of the time when you're gifted like that, like being normal went out the door a long time ago. So, I feel like you guys are getting downloads from spirit all the time. You may not always necessarily trust what you're getting, and you may feel like a crazy person at the time, But don't doubt it. You guys are definitely getting those messages, because at the end of the day, I feel like your intuitive abilities, your psychic abilities, your gifts, because you are gifted, this is a part of your destiny. This is a good thing. This is a positive thing. Sometimes we run away from it because we don't understand it, because it's scary, because it's different, because we're not familiar with it, because, you know, for a whole bunch of different reasons. But sometimes we just feel like we're crazy. Sometimes we come from like a religious background that has scolded us and taught us, no, that's bad. It's like, oh, you're doing a spell, you're going to hell kind of a thing. Well, you know what? Like, for a religion that says like, oh, I'm covered in the blood of Jesus, that sounds a little bit like witchcraft to me. But I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, but I'm just saying, like, these gifts, they are gifts. They're not curses. They're not terrible things. It's a blessing. It's a part of your destiny, because ultimately you're meant to help other people as well as yourself through these gifts. Don't waste it. And once again, that's where we have the power lines coming in, the energy. Now, when I look at these power lines and when I look at energy, I am like, what I get from this is, it's like, okay, so we get our life source and we got our energy from spirit, right? We get messages and downloads from spirit, source, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing, just whatever name you want to use, whatever name is most comfortable for you. But we are receiving that energy from source, right? And, if we are going to look at this maybe kind of from a Christian perspective, the way I kind of look at it is, if you have a cross, because look at this power line, it's kind of like a cross. You're getting the messages coming down from heaven, coming from spirit, coming down into that crown chakra. It's coming down vertically into your body. Now, it's not just supposed to stay there vertically. We're supposed to expand on that, and it's supposed to go out horizontally to the people around us, to the communities that we're in. And that energy is loving energy. It's supportive energy. It's encouraging energy. It's never anything negative. It's never anything bad or scary or harmful. It's always something that's filled with love. And I feel like you have this ability in you, that you guys are receiving those downloads from spirit, that you guys are getting that right into that crown chakra, and you're receiving it into the rest of your body, and you have this opportunity to release it and spread it out into the world to those around you. That's a part of having that gift. So between the energy of the power lines and the destiny card and the messages card, these three cards right off the bat coming out to me here in this reading instantly told me this is a gifted group. This is a highly spiritual group. And maybe you already know that, maybe you don't. But you are highly, highly gifted. And there may be times that you are scared to step out and do something about that. You don't want to be persecuted. You don't want to be judged. But you know what? You got to take that chance. You got to roll that dice and take that chance, or you're going to regret it, or you're going to have all this stuff going on the inside, all this energy just floating around on the inside of you, and there's going to be nowhere to put it. So take the chance, take the risk, step out, And that doesn't mean it has to be anything major. That doesn't mean you have to start a YouTube channel and start doing readings for people or anything like that. I mean, unless you feel called to, obviously. But it could be something as small as maybe like going out and getting your first tarot deck. It could be as small as speaking an inspired prophetic message to a friend of yours. There's so many ways that this could look, where it's small and it doesn't have to look like it's some huge thing, but it could be a big step for you. So take the risk, take the chance. People do not regret the chances that they took. People regret the chances that they never took. So take the risk. And even if you fall flat on your ass, that's okay. Because the universe is going to be there to scoop you up and pick you back up and put you right back on that right track and help you out in doing it again. I mean, look at, babies when they start learning how to walk. They crawl and they start, scooching themselves up, pulling themselves up on furniture and things like that. And they toddle around and they fall down a lot. But they try again and they get up and they keep doing it again and doing it again and doing it again until they walk. So try, you guys. That's all I'm saying here. Take that risk. If you fall down, go boom, it's okay. Get back up, do it again. Do it again and do it again. So start imagining solutions is what it comes down to. And I feel like you guys intuitively are already getting those downloads for those solutions. It's time to speak up. It's time to share those solutions with the world, because I feel like you guys are being given those solutions, not only for your own life, but maybe even for others around you. And this is the key. This is the key here to improving your life and to stepping into that next chapter of blessing and abundance and where good things are going to be happening. Just don't be scared of it. I feel like you guys are almost like scared of the new beginnings. You're scared of the good news that's coming your way. Like, is it going to hurt me? Is it bad? It's not bad. These are solutions. It may not look like societal normal solutions, but think about it. Obviously, the normal for society is not working. It's a broken system. If it was working, then we wouldn't have so many depressed, stressed out, broken people in the world as we do. So clearly the current system doesn't work. So we need to start trying those new solutions, because those have possibilities. That doesn't mean that they're perfect or they're fail-proof, but they're definitely worth looking into. So start stepping into those solutions. Okay, we also have, I'm going to jump right here to honor your feelings, because this is kind of a similar message that came out for pile 1 with this card. Pile 1 also had something going on with like acknowledging your feelings, feeling your feelings, and I feel like you guys may need to hear a similar thing like pile 1 did with honor your feelings. Pisces, that's water energy. Water is obviously all about the emotions. And, you guys, I feel like, once again, I feel like you guys are scared to embrace your feelings. Like, you may have these feelings like, I want to, like maybe your feelings are like, I want to start doing readings for people, or I want to start my own business, or I want to, step away from the church, or, whatever it is. But I feel like there's some kind of societal conditioning that you are wanting to move on from, that you're wanting to break away from. Like the societal norm for a lot of people is like, oh, go to church. Oh, have that 9-to-5 job, blah, blah, blah. Things like that. But maybe you're not interested in that. Maybe deep down inside, your emotions are calling you to do something that's a little wacky and a little weird and a little abnormal. But that's okay. Honor those feelings. Don't allow those things to eat you up on the inside. Respect your feelings. Like, it's okay if you feel different. It's okay if you don't blend in. It's okay if you stand out. That's okay. That's actually beautiful and wonderful. If you feel you would rather, like beef up your side hustle and make that your main thing, awesome, do it. If you feel that, you want to get more into the woo-woo side of things, honor that feeling. Like, that's a connection to spirit. You should never, ever dumb that emotion down of feeling connected to spirit, because it's a beautiful emotion to have. And, unfortunately, most people either completely ignore it or shut it down. So don't shut it down. It's a beautiful thing to have. Honor your feelings. All the emotions, the whole array of the rainbow of them. You know, whether it's the negative feelings that may be scared and fearful, or the excited, happy feelings, honor all those emotions, because all those emotions at the end of the day help shape and create a beautiful, wonderful being that is you. So reveal what needs to be seen. Once again, we got some more water energy coming in here with that Scorpio. So reveal what needs to be seen. You know, that's what psychics do, right? You know, psychics reveal the unseen. You know, psychics kind of help peel back that veil of what is on the other side. You know, what's going on behind the scenes that most people don't see in like that spiritual realm. So I feel like, once again, this is you guys. Like, yeah, I'm sitting here doing a reading for you, but I feel like in exchange, you could probably sit here and do a reading for me, because you guys are that intuitive. You guys are that tapped in. Like, you guys know what is, you know, on the other side. You guys know what needs to be seen. You guys can see the unseen. So it's time to reveal that. That's okay. Don't be scared to do that. Now, I will say this much. Half the battle is in delivery. Like, you know, and I personally, you know, I do readings for people, obviously, but I've had readings before in the past done on myself. And I have had some beautiful and wonderful experiences with people. And I've had some horrible experiences with some readers. And I feel like one of the main reasons I have had horrible experiences with readers, you know, I'm not one to judge and to sit here and criticize somebody else's spiritual experiences or their gifts and their talents. However, I can say that if they do not know how to communicate those messages properly, that can be a problem. So it's one thing to receive the messages, to have the download. It's another thing to know how to communicate and to articulate those messages in a way that are going to be received well. So it's like, if you sit there and, you know, like maybe the reader is seeing some not so great stuff in the future lined up, and they just sit there and say to you something like, oh, you know, you're going to be broke and you're never going to find love, and, you know, your life is going to be a piece of shit and all this other kind of stuff. That's not a great delivery. Even if that is what's coming in, that's not a great delivery. Now, if I were getting messages like that for somebody, I would say, hey, you know, you've got some challenging stuff here. It doesn't look very good in the financial department. It doesn't look very good in the love department. But let's focus on how we can pivot that. How can we change that and get off that course so we can make it right? Because that's the thing. In a reading, nothing is concrete and set in stone, because energy changes all the time, you know. So just because it's a no today doesn't mean it can't be a yes tomorrow. And the energy is all read based upon the track that person is currently on. You know, think about Alice in Twilight, for example. She would get these premonitions, and she would always say that the premonitions can change based upon the track that that person is currently on. So that is very powerful, because it shows how we are co-creators with the universe and how we do have a say in how our lives turn out. That just because one psychic says to you, you're going to be, you know, jobless and broke and homeless and have no love and have no friends, just because one person says that to you doesn't mean that's a done deal. That means that's a person who has a very poor delivery in terms of their messages and are not really interested in helping you work through that energy to change that. So I don't know why I just went on a huge tangent about that, but I feel like you guys needed to hear that, because if you guys are considering going into this kind of work, delivery is half the battle. Like, being gifted, that's just one part of it. Communicating, though, that's a whole other level, and that's very, very important. So reveal what needs to be seen to people. Just make sure you're communicating it right, and hopefully that gave you a little bit of tips and tricks on how to go about doing that. Okay, we also have Find a Balance, full moon in Libra. So this can be very hard, especially when you are someone who is gifted. It can be hard to kind of like find the balance in things, because it's like you can either like go to one extreme or the other. And even if you're not a gifted person, I feel like this is just like part of the human experience. It can be hard to find a way to balance it all, is what it comes down to. And I mean, I'm a Libra myself. I am a Libra sun and moon, and my Saturn is in Libra. So I have a lot of Libra energy in my chart. But even I struggle with balance. And that's kind of the purpose of being a Libra. It doesn't mean that you have mastered balance. It means that you're really trying to learn it and understand it. And I wish I had better tips and tricks for you guys on how to do this. But it's a process, I guess, is the best thing I can tell you. And to be patient with yourself. So it's like, if you're not always balanced all the time, that's okay. Be patient with yourself. And try to relax with that new moon in Cancer. You know, it can be very overwhelming, and it can be a lot, once again, especially if you're gifted and you're trying to navigate this, and you're trying to navigate and understand the messages that you're receiving, and maybe who those messages are for, and how to communicate those messages in a helpful and constructive way. It can be overwhelming. It can be a lot. So just baby steps and breathe through it. Remember to breathe. Breathing is so important. Breath work is so important. So try to relax. You don't have to have it all figured out in one day. You know, just one step at a time. And, you know, it's a marathon. It is not a sprint. It is a marathon. So try to just relax. Breathe your way through it. Okay, we already did imagine solutions. Refine your attention. So it's time to start paying attention to what you do want as opposed to what you don't want. And I feel like, you know, that's a good reminder for anybody, because it's like what we focus on is what's going to expand. So if your attention is towards lack, where you're constantly focused on, oh, I never have any money, I never catch the right breaks, you know, I'm always stuck in traffic, blah, 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 whatever it is, then you're going to get more crappy traffic, and you're going to get more bills, and you're going to get more of the things that you don't want. But instead, if you wake up every day and, you know, okay, maybe if it is trafficy out there and you're like, oh, well, I get to enjoy this lovely ride, and, you know, thank goodness I have, you know, a car that is working, and I can listen to some music I enjoy, or I can listen to a podcast that I want to. You know, this is the time I get to enjoy this podcast. If I wasn't in traffic right now, maybe I wouldn't be listening to this podcast. So you gotta, you know, tweak the way you see things, you know. Every time you get paid some kind of money, you know, be grateful for that and focus on that. Focus on what's coming into your bank account, not what's going out of it. So refine your attention. Focus on the things that you like. Focus on the things that you do want. You know, stop giving attention to things that you don't. You know, it's kind of like, it's like Facebook, you know? Like, I can't tell you how many times on Facebook I see people who, you know, hate comment on things and bully each other and harass each other. And I have never personally understood that, because if I see something on any social media platform that I don't like or I disagree with, I scroll past it. I don't engage with it. I don't care, you know? So I don't understand people who do engage with things that they don't like. So, you know, every time you do that, you're teaching the algorithm to give you more of things that you hate. And, you know, life, the world, the universe is no different. So don't engage with the things that you don't like. Scroll past that. But if you come across something that you like, oh, I just got a direct deposit into my bank account, I'm going to go ahead and spiritually give that a like. Then there you go. You're teaching your own personal algorithm to bring you in more money. So focus on what you want. Address your addictions. And, you know, addictions can look like a lot of different things. It can look like, drugs and alcohol. It can be sex. It can be shopping. It can be a lot of different things. But I feel like the biggest issue here, probably for everybody, because something similar like this came up for pile 1 as well. I feel like the biggest issue here is mental addictions, like negative thinking, negative mental strongholds, things like that. So I feel like that's going to be the biggest issue here. is, once again, breaking down that. That's like very similar to that whole thing of teaching your own personal algorithm to ignore the things that you don't like, scroll past that, and start clicking that like button mentally on the things that you do like, on the things that you do want. So, you're going to want to address that if you haven't addressed that already. And then we have live life to the fullest. So don't be scared anymore, you guys. I know it can be a lot when you're spiritually gifted and you get a lot of downloads and you get a lot of messages and you have these abilities and it's very overwhelming. But, it's a beautiful thing to have. And, at the end of the day, everyone technically has that gift. Everyone has the ability to tap into that psychic ability, but it's a spiritual muscle. Just like everyone has stomach muscles or leg muscles or arm muscles or whatever it is, but not everybody works out those muscles. Some people have very toned muscles and some people have very flabby ones. And spiritually, you're probably a little bit more toned than most people. And don't be scared of that. That's something that's beautiful and awesome. So live your life to the fullest. Don't be afraid anymore. The only thing that you should be afraid of is never having lived the life of your dreams that you wanted to have in the first place. I know a lot of the times in the spiritual community we talk about like, all of our different lifetimes and our past lives and blah, 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 blah. And that may be true, but you're only going to live this life right here, right now, once. You're here right now living it. So make the most of it. Make the most of it in this present moment. Okay, so I think I've gone through all the cards. Pile 1, I almost forgot a card and I had to go back and edit that one in. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything for you guys. But I think I got them all. Yes, I did. Okay, so the last 2 I'm going to do, we have the Pegasus Oracle here. And the Pegasus Oracle, you guys got Pegasus the Water Guardian. Ooh, very cool. All right, so I have the booklet here for the Pegasus Oracle. And just looking at the card, that could be a lot of different things. So that's why I wanted to kind of open up the book here, and I'm going to read to you guys exactly what the definition is for the Pegasus Water Guardian. What does it mean for you? Here we go. Pegasus, soul guide and guardian, manifests the elemental healing powers of water to restore, comfort, and nurture your soul. This guidance assures you that a shift onto a path of grace will bring you renewal and relief from ever more difficult challenges. Open your heart and mind to the possibility of a gentler and more loving journey. Blessings of the element of water reminds us to return to the source, to soften and allow ourselves to be supported, comforted, and held. These blessings are capable of lifting our burdens to our souls experience ease, recover strength, and process karmic energies more gracefully. Pegasus brings the message that something meaningful and divinely destined is gestating within the soul. It needs protection, patience, and trust so it may continue to develop out of sight from prying eyes, opinionated minds, or jealous saboteurs. In time, the inner development will mature and become ready to emerge above the surface, leading to profound and positive changes. Continue on your path and give yourself time and space to feel comforted and nurtured. Dive deep into your inner self, trusting in the quiet, steady determination of the soul will ensure your sacred fulfillment at the best possible time and in the best possible way. You are healing. And then there's a little saying below that, which is an affirmation basically for this particular energy. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this Pegasus affirmation, and all you have to do is accept and receive it. Just be open to accept it. Beloved Pegasus, I call upon enlightened wisdom to manifest the blessings of the water element so that I may know patience, enduring inner strength, surrender, and gentle, loving insight for the spiritual benefit of all beings. That is such a beautiful energy, and I feel like that makes so much sense because it really kind of taps into that softness and that nurturing that a lot of you guys are probably going to need when it comes to tapping into your giftings. And not just when it comes down to tapping into those giftings and expressing that for others, but also simply when it comes down to being good to yourself. Because it's really hard to express those gifts and those talents to other people if you're not even like able to accept that and receive that for yourself. Finally, our last card here comes from the Britney Spears Oracle. And you have a Britney card. You guys have the Yogi. So let's see what Yogi Britney has to say for you guys. The Yogi, somewhere here at the end of the book. Here we go. In the late 2010s, Britney began to practice yoga with an open mind and serious dedication to mastering complicated poses, and she showed off her hard work on Instagram. She even shared that she did hours of yoga in her hotel room while on tour. From handstands to warriors to graceful flows, Britney has demonstrated a deep understanding of the power of yoga to claim the mind and energize the body. Follow the yogi's example today and take a moment to breathe, refocus, and relax, connecting all the energy within you to find your inner light. And I feel like that's also very fitting for you guys because when you think of someone who's a yogi, it's like you almost kind of think like a yogi, a Yoda, someone who is like, very spiritually in tune. So once again, from the beginning, I felt like you guys are my spiritual, psychic little buddies here. Very intuitive, very in touch, so don't doubt that. Anyways, this reading has gone on long enough. It's very long, and I still have 2 more piles I gotta do. So, hopefully this message made sense for you. If the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did make sense, now you know. So before you guys head on out of here, I just ask you to please give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. It puts me on the map here with the YouTube algorithm, speaking of algorithms. And of course, leave me a comment down below too. If you guys are not already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe at this time and to hit that notification bell so you know every time a brand new video goes up, you will be the first in the know. And if you are a returning subscriber, I welcome you back. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. And finally, if you guys are interested in receiving a private reading from me, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. There are lots of readings over there available that you can choose from. And, I would love to be able to assist you guys more on a personal level, on a more one-on-one kind of experience. And that is the perfect way in order to do that and to connect even more beyond here in a more collective kind of setting. So shadowandshine.com, check it on out. Anyways, so yeah, that's about it, you guys. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, pile 3. If you chose the amethyst smoky quartz crystal, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what good news is on its way for you. For you. All right. I'm excited to dive into this, you guys. We've definitely gotten some really cool, awesome, good words of inspiration and faith and uplifting messages for the previous 2 piles, and I'm excited to see what you guys got. All right, so the bottom card and the top card we are going to come back to later. I'm going to set these 2 to the side, and these 2 we are going to get into at the end of your reading. But let's go ahead and dive into these first ones here. I'm going to go ahead and lay these cards down, and we're going to see exactly what they have to say. And then we'll basically connect the dots and see how they all link up and connect to one another and make some sense of that as to how it correlates to you and your situation. So let's get started. We have crystals, achievement, and it looks like that's a labradorite crystal. So maybe you guys need some labradorite in your life. Coins, good luck. That's definitely something that is good to hear about. Heart, love. And firefly, wonder. At first I thought that said worker. I was like, worker? That's kind of weird. Wonder. Wonder makes more sense. And we also have first quarter moon in Cancer. Push through any insecurity. Full moon in Taurus. Detoxify. First quarter moon in Leo, be humble. And full moon in Leo, go wild. Begin to explore. Focus on success. Have faith, and correct your mistakes. All right. So we got a lot of different stuff going on here with pile number 3. So first of all, I feel like we're going to start here with the coins, with good luck. I feel like number 1, first and foremost, you know, the question at hand here, of course, is what good news is coming for you? What is coming your way? And I feel like the coins immediately here with good luck is a reminder that you have luck on your side, that you are lucky, that you do have good luck on your side already. It's already there. So I feel like you guys are already very blessed and already very fortunate. And I'm not saying that you guys have no struggles and you have no problems, because everybody has something to deal with. But I feel like you may be in a more abundant position than probably some other people, you know? Even if you don't necessarily feel like it, I feel like this is definitely a reminder to let you know, like, hey, you really do have luck on your side. You really do have a lot of good things going on. You know, it's like, it's kind of like the whole thing of like, one example of being lucky is like, if you're in traffic and it's like you just miss somebody sideswiping you or something, like that's obviously a really lucky moment. That's really having luck on your side. So it could just be like happenstance kind of situations like that where, you know, luck was just on your side, or maybe you were just like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bill tomorrow, and then all of a sudden somebody gifts you like $100 or something. That's obviously a pretty lucky position to be in. So that's why I'm saying this doesn't mean that your life is perfect, but I do feel like there is an element of synchronicity there where it's like, even if everything is falling apart, somehow something always comes in to kind of like get it back on track, even if it is in the midnight hour at the very last minute. So I do feel like you guys are just kind of naturally lucky. It's not something that you necessarily have to struggle for or to fight for. It just has a way of happening and finding you is what it comes down to. I want to address these 2 Leo cards here at the bottom, which I think is really funny. So we have Go Wild, the full moon in Leo, and then we also have the first quarter moon in Leo, which is Be Humble. So I feel like these cards kind of balance each other out in a weird sense. So with the first one, with Go Wild, I feel like it is the universe giving you permission to like just do that, to go wild, to live your best life, to not hold back, to ultimately do the things that you want to do. Take the risks. Go after the dreams, you know? It's like, if you want to start your own business, start your own business. If you want to, you know, go public in some kind of relationship or whatever, go public with that. If you want to move to a different country or a different state or something, do it. Do the things, you know, go wild. You know, tap into your gifts and to your talents, because I feel like you do have a lot that you can offer. You guys are just kind of like I said, you guys are naturally just kind of blessed, naturally just kind of, you know, and like I said, I know some of you may be sitting here saying, no, my life is shit, my life is crap. But I feel like if you really look back at experiences you've been through, you could probably identify like, oh yeah, that could have turned out a lot worse. Like I was actually pretty lucky in that situation. So yeah, like I do feel like the universe is giving you permission to go wild. But with be humble here, I feel like at the same time, the universe is like, yeah, go for the thing, go for the gold, do what you want to do, go for your dreams, but be humble about it. You know, don't get a big head about things. Even if things do go your way and things do turn out and things go well, of course, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's something to be grateful for, but be humble about it. You know, don't, you know, get so far up your own butt in a sense that it's just like you think like you're the shit and your shit don't stink, and that, you know, almost to the point where it's like you start getting like a huge head and you start being conceited, and then the next thing you're like, oh, nothing bad can happen to me. Because of course, when we start getting into that kind of mind frame, that's when the universe is like, oh, you need to be knocked down a couple of pegs because that head of yours is growing a little bit too big, kind of a thing. So, you know, keep it even keeled, keep it balanced. Like, yes, you know, the universe has amazing things in store for you. Definitely go for your dreams, do the thing and everything. But don't let your good opportunities and don't let your good luck kind of like get to the best of you where you think you're invincible, because you're not. So it's good to still stay grounded. Don't be so far up in your head that you can't come back down, kind of a thing. So I feel like these two actually really kind of complement each other a lot. So I feel like I said, I feel like once again, that means that there's already like a lot of good things going on in your life already. If anything, you know, that'll probably just multiply. There'll probably just be more of that. I feel like there's a lot of love surrounding you in your life, that there are a lot of people who admire you and look up to you and respect you. Now, of course, you could take this as romantic love, but since this is a general reading, I kind of take this more so as like, almost like you guys have like a lot of admirers. I mean, it's almost like you guys could be a social media influencer or something watching this reading, and it's like you have a lot of people who look up to you and think that you're amazing and probably don't think you have any flaws. And even if you have a bunch of problems going on in your life behind the scenes, they probably don't know about it. They probably think you have the perfect life. These may be people who watch from a distance and they think that you have it all together and that you have all the answers. So I feel like you have a lot of admirers, a lot of fans is what it comes down to. And this could be like on a personal level, like people you actually know, or it could be people that you don't even know at all, just people who are watching from a distance, people on social media or something like that. So yeah, this could be friends, this could be family, this could be people you work with. It could be a lot of different people, but I feel like regardless of how well they know you, of how much they know you on a personal level or not, that these are people who admire you. So there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love floating around there. And I feel like one of the reasons why you have so much love and you're able to attract that and pull that in so much is because you're like a firefly. You know, you have this natural ability to kind of make people wonder, is what it comes down to. Because when you look at a firefly, you know, you're looking at them in the night sky. It's dark. There's not a lot going on out there. And then all of a sudden you see this glowing little ball of light. This little teeny tiny glowing yellow ball of light. And your eyes are magically drawn to it. And that's that lightning bug. And I feel like you guys are that firefly or that lightning bug. And people's eyes are just naturally drawn to you. They're naturally drawn to you. There's a glow about you. There's a sparkle about you. So even if people don't really know you very well, I feel like there's a lot of wonder when it comes down to you. That there's a lot of, that people wonder about you, and they want to know more about you, and maybe they speculate about you. So this is why I'm saying, like, I mean, I would never ever in my entire life imagine that like a celebrity or some social media influencer or anything like that. I don't feel like anyone like that would ever probably watch one of my videos, but on the off chance you are one of those people, it's like that kind of feeling. And even if you're not a celebrity, even if you're not a social media influencer, I feel like you have a lot of influence in the circle that you're in, even if it's much smaller, even if you don't have millions of followers or something. It could just be you have that sparkle, you have that it factor. It's just that something about you that make people kind of follow you around, and they see you all lit up here. So I feel like you guys just like have this natural ability to draw in a following. So if you're not like on social media, if you're not a social media influencer, like, and if that's something that interests you and that's something you want to do, I would say do it, because I don't feel like it's going to be very hard for you guys to build a following. I feel like you got that magnetic spark that people are just going to be drawn into, that it's going to be something that's going to be easy to achieve here. You know, we got achievement. And I feel like, you know, whether it's something big or small, like I feel like you guys are just able to kind of just like breeze through whatever it is you need to do. You know, it's almost kind of like in school, like when you're in school and there are those kids, like when it's time to take a test, you know, maybe it's like time for finals or something like that. There's a huge test around the corner, and then, you know, you have the group of kids who study and they work really hard to understand the information, and then you have the kids who don't study at all. And out of that group, you could have someone who didn't study a damn thing, but yet they still pass with flying colors because they're a good test taker naturally, you know. And you could have somebody else who maybe like spent hours and hours the night before cramming for this test and weeks leading up to it studying and reviewing it, and maybe they still didn't do as good as the kid who didn't study the night before at all. And I feel like in a weird way, that's kind of you guys. You guys are the ones who like cannot study it all the night before, and you're still going to pass with flying colors somehow. Like, you're the person that everyone's going to be jealous of here. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, but hey, you know, it is what it is. But I feel like you guys are just really good at just achieving stuff. That it's not a problem for you. It's not something that's difficult for you, that you just kind of rise to the challenge and do the thing. So let's see. And that's interesting though, because even though it seems like you guys have like all this success here with the natural luck and the admirers and being the firefly everyone's drawn to, naturally achieving things, the funny thing is, I feel like you guys don't see this in yourself. I feel like you are not aware that you're like this, because we have pushed through any insecurities. And I feel like at the core, you guys are actually pretty insecure. That even if you do... Tinkerbell, what are you doing? Sorry, my dog, she was... I sometimes have to check on her because, you know, her name is Tinkerbell, so sometimes she gets into trouble. You better not be doing anything weird. I'm going to check on you after I'm done with this pile. You don't be naughty. She's listening to me. She just, I don't know. She's mischievous. Anyways, she's a little firefly herself. So yeah, with the push through any insecurities thing, I feel like you guys don't see this in yourself at all. Like, even though you may have like a following of people, or you may have, a lot of gifts and talents where, things are easy for you to kind of just like achieve and to, pass through the red velvet ropes in a sense. I feel like you guys don't see in yourself what other people see in you. You guys don't see that spark. You guys don't see that magnetic touch. You guys don't see that charisma. Instead you're very insecure and you're like, oh, I don't know what people think of me. So it's almost like an image dysmorphia in a sense. So I feel like this card is reminding you here, like, not to get caught up in your own insecurities and to maybe try and see yourself a little bit more the way other people see you, because there's no reason for you guys to be insecure. And then we have full moon in Taurus, detoxify. So I feel like that insecurity is probably the thing here that probably does need to be detoxified, because insecurity is kind of like our own internal image killer. Because when we're insecure about something, it's like, how can we ever get to a place where we feel healthy and we feel good about ourselves and we feel confident? So I feel like, if anything, it's about detoxifying that. And in every single group, without fail, every single group has kind of had a different theme and a different feel and a different vibe of what's been going on with it, absolutely. But there's one thing that's been the same in every single group, and that is everybody has stinking thinking. Everybody has some negative thoughts and some bad mental strongholds that they have to break free from and break loose from in order to ultimately live their best life. Because, think about it, like, it seems like on the surface level here, you guys have a lot going on for you that's pretty good. And even if you do, like for anybody, even if you do have the house of your dreams, the spouse of your dreams, the dream job, all the money that you could possibly ever need, even if you're satisfied with all of those external things, if you're struggling with insecurity, if you have negative thoughts about yourself and things like that, you're not really enjoying the gifts that have been given to you. So you got to detoxify that negative thinking so you can actually enjoy what's been given to you. And I feel like those are the mistakes that need to be corrected. I don't feel like you guys have done anything horrible or negative or hurtful towards other people. The only way you've probably hurt anyone the most is probably yourself, because that's what we usually do. We are usually our own biggest enemies more so than anyone else. Not to say that we never experience bullying and harassment and negative words from other people, because of course we do. But sometimes the worst one, the worst voice, the loudest voice, and the strongest voice can be from ourselves. And that's the worst possible thing to do, because we can't control how other people behave and act towards us, but we can always control how we are to ourselves. And we should always be our own personal, biggest, strongest, and bestest cheerleader and love up on ourselves the absolute most. Because at the end of the day, if everything else is stripped away, we are going to be left with ourselves. So we better be loving ourselves. So that may be the biggest mistake here to correct, is to just, reverse that insecurity stuff. And have faith. Trust the process here is what it comes down to. And this can be really hard too, especially in the insecure times, not just insecure as an individual, but just like the insecure times that we're living in as a society in the world right now. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. If you're in the U.S., there's a lot going on politically. That's a mess. I know all summer, every area of the country has seemed to have gotten hit a bit from the fires in Canada, where everyone's been dealing with horrible air quality. So it's like, the world is kind of going up in flames. The economy is going down as well. Wages are not going up. The cost of living is going up. So everything is a big mess. It's hard to have faith when the world gives you a lot of reasons not to. But we got to muster up a way to have faith somehow, because if we don't, we're never going to find a way to make it any better. And I'm not saying it can be better immediately and instantaneously. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to take collaboration. It's going to take working with people, but it's also going to take a certain amount of faith. So this is definitely a reminder to do that. And a good way to have faith is to focus on success. Focus on things going right. And I feel like you guys already have had success. You guys have already had some good things happening for you. So just continue to focus on that. You know, the attitude of gratitude. Focus on where things have gone right. And that way then that can multiply and continue is what it comes down to. You don't want to self-sabotage. You don't want to ruin what you've already kind of created for yourself in terms of success. So continue to focus on that. We're co-creators with the universe, so we have a say. We have a say on how this goes. This is a very similar message that I just gave pile 3, and the fact of, you know, what you focus on expands. So if you're focused on getting in the car and experiencing bad traffic and an empty bank account, you're going to get more empty bank account and bad traffic. But if you get in that car and you're focused on, hey, there's traffic today, but this means I get to listen to this podcast that I've been meaning to listen to. That's an amazing thing. You're already flipping the script. You're already rewriting the algorithm to show you something different. If instead of focusing on every time you get a bill, and you focus instead on, hey, I just got a direct deposit. That's an amazing thing. If you start giving that a like, instead of, you know, oh, I just got a bill. Oh, you're about a like. No, thumbs down. You know, if you start focusing on that, you're going to see more money coming into your account. So train your own personal algorithm that you have within this universe. Focus on success. Train it for success, not failure, because I feel like you guys have already been doing that just like naturally. So I feel like you've been able to do that subconsciously, but now you can really take it to the next level and bring in even more if you're consciously aware of taking that to the next level and bringing in that kind of success. And then we have begin to explore. I feel like the begin to explore card is also very similar to that go wild card, because it's like, you know, when you go wild, you have that opportunity to get out there and explore. So, you know, if you have the desire to maybe travel and see the world, or maybe move somewhere new, you know, to start a new beginning with something, explore, do that. And this doesn't necessarily have to be just travel. I mean, the first thing that kind of came to me with this automatically was travel, but it doesn't have to be. You know, maybe you're going to be exploring starting a brand new business, or beginning a relationship with somebody, or some other chapter of your life. But I feel like there's definitely a window of opportunity that's being opened right now where you have the chance to explore something new. And it's something new and something awesome, and it's something that you've wanted to do for a really long time. So don't hesitate. Now is the time to start sticking your foot into the pool and diving in to explore all of that that's going on. Okay, so we have 2 cards left to get into, and these are the 2 ones that I kind of left for last. The first one is the Pegasus card, and I wanted to read from the Pegasus Oracle booklet exactly what the definition is, because you guys got the Pegasus of the sunflower. So cool. Now, this could mean a lot of different things when you're just looking at the card, so that's why I wanted to read to you guys exactly what its definition is, so maybe it can help you a little bit more on your journey and in understanding exactly what the good things are that's on its way for you. And the sunflower is a very happy kind of flower anyways, so it's got to be something good, you guys. All right, so Pegasus of the sunflower. Pegasus brings a joyful and special blessing of the divine masculine for your spiritual protection to ensure your sacred success. Here is empowerment to help you remember to always turn your attention to the light, where you will find strength and sanctuary. Whatever darkness has plagued you in the past shall no longer be able to touch your heart or mind. You will discover a sense of stability and firmness of mind. As you choose to place your attention on the spiritual light, you are also choosing to experience peace and love and to dwell in the present moment. When you pull your attention from that which is unworthy of your time and energy, you weaken the ability of such elements to enter your field, distract you from more important tasks, steal your joy, or otherwise drain your vitality. You have a natural talent for connecting to the light. If you have been bravely shedding relationships that do not resonate with your soul and feel isolated as a result, be assured that you will make new connections more aligned with your heart. If something is ending in your life, a new beginning is destined to unfold. A significant blessing will bring joy and healing to your soul. Place your focus on the light, and you will recognize the goodwill and grace that is protecting you. And then underneath that is a little affirmation for the Pegasus of the Sunflower. So I'm going to go ahead and just read that. And all you guys have to do is be open to receive this affirmation. Beloved Pegasus of the Sunflowers of enlightened wisdom, I shift my frequency to gratitude, and in doing so become receptive to the generous grace and clear guidance that are coming to me now. With optimism in my heart, I am thankful for divine blessings that genuinely serve the spiritual benefit of all beings. So that's very cool. Very good message. And the other card that I want to go over with you guys comes from the Britney Spears Oracle, and the Britney that you guys got is the Blue Jean Queen. Remember that, you guys? When her and Justin Timberlake were all dressed in total denim. That was like the year 2000 or something like that. Let's see. Let me find... Oh, here we go. I opened up right to it. The Blue Jean Queen. Oh, I'm sorry, 2001. They specify it as 2001 in the booklet. Same difference. It's all within the same time era. It was the early 2000s. That's the point. A red carpet outfit that went down in history. Britney and her then boyfriend, Justin Timberlake, showed up to the American Music Awards in 2001 in full-on denim outfits. From Britney's strapless patchwork mermaid gown to Justin's jean suit, complete with a denim cowboy hat. It was a look, and even still being talked about today. Katy Perry even paid homage to it with a denim red carpet dress of her own. The blue jean moment was a perfect example of Britney's personal style, a little bit of Hollywood with a lot of authentic country charm. The Blue Jean Queen is a fabulous reminder to be yourself, whether it is a big event or a Monday at the office. All right, you guys, that's pretty awesome. So that's basically what I have here for you guys today. If the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did resonate, now you know. So before we wrap things up here and head on out, I would just ask you guys to please give this video a big thumbs up, because that definitely helps me out a lot. And also drop me a comment down below, because doing those things just helps me. Like I said, once again, it puts me out there in that YouTube algorithm. You know, we were talking about algorithms earlier. So, you know, if you guys could help me out with that, that would be super. I would be very grateful for that. And if you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. I thank you for stopping on by and checking this video out. And if you're brand new, I invite you to give this video a not only a thumbs up, but also I invite you to subscribe to my channel. And when you do, make sure that you hit that notification bell, so that way then you are up to date and you are informed every single time a new reading goes up. You'll always be in the know. You'll never miss out. So I definitely invite you to do that. And once again, you guys, if you are interested in a personal reading, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. You can find all kinds of readings over there. And if you're interested in that, you can check that out. And I would definitely love to assist you guys even further on your own journey in a more one-on-one personal way. And that's a perfect way of doing so. So check out my website, shadowandshine.com. You can learn more and find out exactly how that all works right over there. So thank you guys for stopping on by. You guys are amazing. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 4. If you chose the clear quartz twin shaped cluster here, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out exactly what good news is on its way for you. So excited. Every pile has been so amazing. So you guys being the last one, I am super excited to see how this turns out for you. We have one card here on the top and one card here on the bottom that I'm going to put to the side. And these two we are going to get in at the end. And you guys will find out why. But those two are going to be towards the end. Otherwise, I have a bunch of cards here from several different decks. So we're just going to go ahead and put these guys down and find out exactly what they are, and then bring them all together, connect the dots, see how they connect exactly, and how it makes sense for you in your life. So let's get into it. We have the yin and yang balance. Crown. Personal power, fence, boundaries, lotus flower, enlightenment, last quarter moon in Libra. Make time for self-love. So important. Yes, indeed. Last quarter moon in Virgo. Attend to the details. New moon in Leo. Shine. Kind of like Shadow and Shine. Full moon in Pisces. Forgive. Go for your dreams. Nurture yourself first. Change tracks. And claim your art. All right, so we have a lot of different things going on here. The first thing I'm going to get started with here actually is this change tracks, because typically if we want something new and amazing and awesome to come into our lives, something that's blessed and abundant and good, and if we're not really seeing a lot of that going on, it probably means we need to change tracks, because it's like the track that we're currently on, if it's leading us towards things that don't make us happy, that steal our joy, that steal our peace, if it brings us to a place of like desperation or starvation in some kind of way, that's probably an indication that something needs to change. And similar to Pile 1, Pile 1 had a card that was about endings. And I had remembered telling them that, in order for them to have this new beginning of good things, sometimes that means that there has to be an ending somewhere, that you have to end a certain chapter in order to make space and to make room for something new and good to come in. So that's kind of a very similar energy to this. So that may mean, switching your focus, like for example, if you have been stuck in a job that you hate, like maybe you stay there because it brings you security, because it brings you that paycheck, it pays your bills, and that's why you stay. You literally just stay for the money. But maybe you hate the job itself. You hate what you do. You don't feel fulfilled in it. You don't like your coworkers. It's not enjoyable. You feel like you're wasting your time for 8 hours every single day. If it's bringing you that much misery and the only reason you're there is for a paycheck and you're looking for more fulfillment in your day-to-day life, that could be an indication that it's time to change tracks. And granted, releasing that security with the paycheck may be terrifying, but that doesn't mean that the universe isn't going to supply for you in another way. That doesn't mean that the universe isn't going to make sure you're taken care of. So you can still find that security, but it may come to you in a different way, in an even better way. And that's just one example. There are a lot of ways this changing tracks could apply. It could apply in relationships, in friendships, within our families, within our health, in a lot of different ways. But either way, it's definitely indicating here that there's probably something in your life that hasn't been working. So if you want to see things improve and get better and start experiencing joy and peace and freedom and the good things in life, you're going to have to change something. Something has to be switched up here in order to make that happen. And most likely you know what that is. So yeah, what else do we have here? So we have the last quarter moon in Libra, which is saying make time for self-love. And we also have nurture yourself first. So I feel like these two kind of go hand in hand. They kind of echo the same sentiment because nurturing yourself is basically the same thing as loving yourself. So we have like double confirmation here of taking care of yourself. And maybe that's the thing here. That is the thing that where the track needs to be changed. Maybe you've really neglected yourself a lot lately and you haven't been nurturing yourself and you haven't been giving yourself that self-love. And self-love looks different for everybody. You know, for some people, maybe that means just taking time for yourself and going and spending some time in nature, taking a nice long walk or a nice hike or something like that. It could mean getting in the car and having a nice long drive, putting the windows down, listening to some music that you love. It could be just like having a day where you're all curled up at home in the blankets and eating comfort food and watching one of your favorite movies. This looks different for everybody, is what it comes down to. But I feel like you may have been neglecting that. You may have been neglecting that time to take care of yourself. Maybe you've been too busy taking care of everybody else. You know, wherever it is you've been putting that attention, that could be the thing here where the track needs to be changed and you need to start putting the focus and the attention more so on yourself, especially if you are someone who is frequently there for other people a lot. If maybe you're a caretaker or something like that. It's really hard to take care of other people. I know it's cliche, but it's true. It's hard to take care of other people if you're not taking care of yourself first. And that's not being selfish. It is, you know, a part of self-care. And if there's someone around you who tries to convince you otherwise, well, honestly, that person is flat out wrong. And maybe they need to do a little bit of self-care too in order to understand that. You know, no one wants to become a martyr. And sometimes when we get to that place where we're not indulging in self-care, we can start to become the martyr. And nobody enjoys that. Nobody enjoys being around the martyr or being the martyr. So don't be the martyr. So definitely, I feel like self-care, nurturing yourself here, that's key and that's important. And I feel like that's probably going to be the gateway in towards you receiving more blessings and abundance and a lot of the things in your life that you want. And one of the ways that you can achieve more self-love and more time nurturing yourself is by establishing healthy boundaries. So once again, I feel like for some of you guys, it's like you're caretakers. in some way, shape, or form. You know, this could be anything from like being in your personal life where, you know, you have kids and you're taking care of kids, obviously your own children. That's being a caretaker. Maybe you have elderly parents and you're taking care of, you know, parents that are older or family members of some sort. But I definitely feel like you're a caretaker. And even if it's not in your personal life, it could be your job, it could be your career. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you work with older people in like a retirement community or something. Maybe you work with disabled individuals. So, you know, I feel like that caretaker here is definitely a part of it. It could even be in like the health area of things. You could be a doctor or a nurse that's definitely taking care of people. But I feel like you definitely put your heart on the line and you put a lot of your blood, sweat, and tears and your own soul on the line to help other people and to be there for other people, which is very admirable and is wonderful. And there should be more people in the world out there like you who do that. But I feel like you neglect yourself a lot in the face of doing those things. So maybe time to start putting up those boundaries and start saying, you know what, it's not that I'm not going to be here anymore. It's not that I'm not going to be here for you. It's not that I'm, you know, quitting my job or anything like that, but I need to step back and take time for me. So, you know, if I need to have a day off, I need to take that day off. If I need to have, you know, a day out away from the kids just for me, like I need to give them to their dad or I need to give them to grandma or whoever it is just for that day. So definitely I feel like putting up those healthy boundaries is going to be really important. And I feel like another part of that is get comfortable with saying no and not having to give a reason. Because a lot of the times when we have a hard time saying no to people, even if we do say no, we'll still like give this huge long essay as to, you know, why we have to say no and that we feel bad and we feel guilty and all these other kind of things. I feel like people already know your heart. I feel like people will already know that you feel bad by saying no. I feel like people will already understand your reasons as to why you have to say no. So just say no and just leave it at that. You don't have to give any crazy big explanations. And if somebody does need crazy big explanations, then they don't really deserve the explanation anyway. So don't worry about it. So get comfortable saying no and be okay saying no without having to give a reason as to why you have to say no. And that's going to be a part of like putting on your own personal little crown. You know, have you guys seen that meme where it's like, you know, careful princess, you know, don't let your crown slip. You know, same thing. Careful princess, don't let your crown slip. So yeah, don't let it slip. You know, this is a time to step into your own personal power. And sometimes stepping into our own personal power means establishing healthy and good boundaries and taking good care of ourselves. Start treating yourself like the queen or the king that you truly are. Start treating yourself more like royalty and not like a servant. So claim that personal power within. And as long as you do that, you're going to find balance, the yin and the yang here, because right now your life is probably pretty out of balance. And if you're seeking for better, if you're seeking for something good, I feel like one of the things that can come in for you that is going to be a blessing and that's going to be a good thing is balance. And balance in itself, you know, it may not sound like it's a major thing, but when your life is constantly flipped upside down and when it's in constant chaos and upheaval, balance can seem like a pretty big blessing. So I feel like you guys can have that in your life, but the only way you're going to have that is once again by stepping into your personal power here and establishing some good, healthy boundaries and getting comfortable saying no without having a reason for it, so you can have that time for self-care and your self-nurturing. And then you'll find balance because you'll be taking care of yourself and you'll be taking care of others. And no one on either side of the fence will be left out. No one on either side of the coin will be, will feel like they are not being taken care of. Everyone will be. So that's definitely a huge part of it. Let's see, what else do we have here? So we also have forgive here. Now, when you can be someone who has kind of been in like caretaker mode where you're putting everyone else first and kind of leaving yourself back, even if it's not intentional, and even if you don't notice it, sometimes we can get bitterness and resentment against others. Even if it's people we love and we care about, like family members we're taking care of or being there for friends or whatever. Sometimes we can grow resentment and bitterness towards them because it's like we're constantly putting them first and leaving ourselves out. And they're not intentionally trying to hurt us, but sometimes just because we're constantly running ourselves down doing that, we can like grow this callous in a sense towards them. So you may not even realize that you have some of that going on right now, but if you do, you're definitely going to need to forgive them. And forgive yourself in a sense too, because, you're kind of the person who put yourself in that position in the first place to constantly be run over and to constantly be that go-to person when you didn't have to be. So forgive yourself and also forgive them, because I don't feel like they intentionally ever meant to put you in a detrimental position. So it's going to be hard to, establish those good boundaries with them and to have healthy relationships with them if you're harboring some kind of bitterness or resentment against them. And like I said, you may not even realize that you do. It may be something very small and subtle and subconscious and low under the radar. So this may take a little bit of exploration to get to, but either way, that forgiveness is going to need to come and it's going to need to happen, because it's like they always say, when we're harboring unforgiveness towards somebody, that's like drinking poison and hoping that our enemy dies. And it just doesn't work that way. So the only person it hurts in the end is you. So that's why I'm saying forgiveness, kind of important here. Attend to the details. Last quarter moon in Virgo. Now details. This could look like a lot of different things, those details. First and foremost, I feel like the details are, of course, taking care of yourself, because this theme of self-love does seem to be pretty big in this particular pile, but I feel like it could tend to a couple of other things here. So we also have claim your art and we have go for your dreams. So number one, every human being is creative in some kind of capacity. Now, I'm not saying that you're an artist or anything like that. Maybe you are. And if you are, then take that as it resonates. But everybody has some kind of ability where they're creative. It could be creative in quite literally, art, music, dance, performance art, painting, drawing, sculpting, whatever it is. But there are other ways to be creative too. It could be creative like on the computer, like maybe you're someone who's really good at coding or graphic design or something like that. Maybe you're creative in terms of your words. Maybe you would be a really good writer. Maybe you're creative in the kitchen and you're really good at cooking and baking and creating different things there. Maybe you're creative outside and you have a really good knack for being a green thumb and growing beautiful gardens. So there are many different ways to be creative. Makeup artists, they're creative. They create basically art on the face that you can wash off. There's being creative with clothing and putting together outfits and styling and fashion. So there are many ways to get creative. And I do feel like there's some kind of creative bone in your body that's craving to get out. And only you're going to know exactly what that gift is and what that talent is. but I feel like that's tied to your dreams here. So go for your dreams. Go for your dreams in that creative endeavor. Go for your dreams with that. That doesn't mean that that has to become your career or that has to become the thing that you're going to do for the rest of your life, unless you want it to be, of course. But I do feel like it's something that you may need to tap into a little bit more, that this is going to be something that's going to help with your nurturing, that's going to help with that self-love and taking care of yourself. So don't be afraid to do that. Go for your dreams. Go for your dreams, regardless of what they are, even if it's not tied to some kind of creative expression of art here. It could be something else altogether. But for a lot of you, I feel like these are definitely two things that are probably tied together. And I feel like those two things tied in together in terms of being creative and tapping into your talents and going for your dreams, that those are some of the details that you need to attend to. And it's like, by tapping into your gifts and talents, by being creative, by going for your dreams, by allowing yourself to nurture that, to tap into your self-love, and having boundaries to make sure you can take care of that, those are all details here that need to be attended to. And finally here with the lotus flower and enlightenment, I feel like if you put all of those moving pieces together, if you put them together and you really get them moving and you tap into that, that's where you're going to find enlightenment. That's where you're really going to probably have epiphanies and realizations of things that you never even knew or realized before. And it's probably because you were too shut off, because you were too busy taking care of everybody else and not necessarily what your soul needed. So all of this here, I mean, this is ultimately for your soul, especially like when we're doing something creative. That's the kind of stuff that comes from within, that comes from the soul. It just feels good. It just feels right. So, this is all about tapping into what your soul needs. And the more you tap into what your soul needs, the more inner peace you're going to find, the more inner joy you're going to find, regardless of what is happening around you. What's happening around you could be a total hurricane, tornadoes and lightning and thunder and wind and all kinds of chaotic and crazy stuff. But in that eye of the storm where you are, it's going to be peaceful, it's going to be sunny, and it's going to be relaxed because you are tending to what your soul needs. And I feel like that's the big thing here for you guys, is tending to your soul needs. And as long as you're doing that, you're going to be on the track towards good and better things all the way around, regardless. Let me see if there's anything else here really quick. I think we kind of got into everything except for the last two cards. Yes. So the last two cards, we have, first of all, the Pegasus Oracle. And I'm going to go ahead and read to you guys what this card is all about, because you guys have the Pegasus of the Sun. Ooh, very bright. Okay. So, I mean, just looking at that card by itself, it's hard to tell, like, oh, gee, what is the Pegasus of the Sun all about? I don't know. So let's open up the booklet and read about the Pegasus of the Sun, shall we? Okay, here's what it says. Our beloved soul guardian, Pegasus, brings the portent of higher consciousness, golden with solar radiance that bestows the clarity of healing, of divine golden light wherever it is needed. This is the gift of power of the positive, the capacity to transform suffering, struggle, and victimization into enlightenment, which you guys did get enlightenment over here, success and victory. All you have to feel within your heart, including your dreams, desires, and deepest yearnings, go for your dreams, are your soul's sacred purpose and divine destiny. Do not give up. Believe in your inevitable fruition. Make commitments that serve your sole purpose. This solar blessing may give rise to resistance in the form of such doubt, fear, uncertainty, insecurity, comparison, and distrust. Such thoughts of feelings offer opportunities to heal. Bear them with compassion, witnessing, and then allow them to be absorbed and dissolved into the golden light. Pegasus reminds us that the light is more powerful than any doubt and is more creative and resourceful than our limited human experience may recognize. This is why we have faith. It is the heart's wise capacity to trust in the trustworthy, even when logic may dictate otherwise. You have navigated a significant turning point and attained spiritual graduation through a different karmic cycle. You are being reinstated to your full radiance. Any errors that led you away from your true path and purpose have been corrected. Place your faith in the light. A positive change of heart and status is imminent. All right, well, that's very positive indeed. We'll take it. And I had to check on my dogs. They're making a weird noise. Someone's digging. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, so underneath all of that is a little affirmation that they have for this particular Pegasus. So I'm going to go ahead and read the affirmation for the Pegasus of the Sun. And all you have to do is be open and accept this affirmation into your own heart. Pegasus of golden light, chariot of the solar heart, I invite your enlightened wisdom and flawless compassion to bless and protect my heart with divine love, faith, and empowerment for joyous, blessed fruition in service to the spiritual benefit of all beings. So that's definitely pretty cool. Sunshiny days are ahead, according to this Pegasus. And then finally, you guys, the last card that I have for you is from the Britney Spears Oracle. And the Britney that you guys got is the Lucky Star. All right. So she's so lucky. She's a star. So let's see exactly what the Lucky Star has to say. All right. The Lucky Star, the Lucky Star. Here we go. Okay. This is a story about a girl named Lucky. In this music video from 2000, Britney plays both the narrator and a fabulous movie star named Lucky, who cries in her lonely heart when she's not winning awards and walking red carpets. While some think the song predicted much of Britney's relationship with fame, it's a timeless parable about how things are not always how they seem. The Lucky Star is a reminder to give yourself and others grace because even the most glamorous and successful among us could be struggling behind the scenes, which is very, very true. And that's probably why we should always be thankful for our own individual path, because we don't know what's going on with other people. And I've heard people say this many, many times before, and it's like, if we all had the opportunity to throw in all of our problems into one big pile with one another, we would probably actually grab our own problems right back, because we would look at everybody else's and we'd be like, ugh, I don't know, I don't want to deal with that. So, it kind of makes sense. It's kind of like that Lucky Star card. So anyways, that's basically what I have going on here for you guys and what came through for you in this reading about good things that are coming your way, good news that's on its way, and I'm excited for you guys on this journey. So once again, as always, you guys, if the message did not flow, let it go. And if it did resonate, now you know. Before you head on out, please give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot. And drop me a comment down below. And heck, if any of these things wind up happening and you want to come back and you want to share with me like some of the good things that have happened to you since this reading, I would love to know about it. So please come on back and share with me. I would love to know. So yeah, leave me a comment down there. So yeah, that's basically that. Thank you to those who have already subscribed to me and who are returning to my channel. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome sauce. If you're brand new, I invite you to subscribe if you enjoyed this and if you would like to see more from me. And also make sure you hit the notification bell when you do subscribe, because then you will be the first in the know of when a new video goes up. You won't miss out on a single thing or be behind at all in any way, shape, or form. And if you guys are interested in your own personal reading, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. Over there, you can book a reading with me. And there's a bunch of different readings that are available, lots of different options, depending on what you're looking for and depending on what your budget is. There's a little bit of something over there for everybody. So definitely feel free to go on ahead and check that out. And, I would love to assist you and help you along in your own journey on more of a personal one-on-one level. And that is a perfect outlet to go ahead and do so in doing that. So that's basically it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you have an amazing day. I'm sending you lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling.